Hi, I'm Josanne Wright Callender, the author of the Happy Little Garbage Truck picture book and educational program. The other day, I said that this is one of the best ways starting out a new semester because you're actually teaching literacy and social skills to a group of students, and also getting them used to the classroom routine, group, large group, whole group, individual small groups and centers, as well as individualized instruction. So you can do peer to peer instruction using some of the techniques that I give in my book and in my teacher's guide, and also the independent activities that can be done by the student while we're having small group instruction, and those that are at different ability levels, because I've made this to really work within an inclusion classroom where you'd have a multiple level of different abilities and different, not only different abilities, but different styles of learning, because I try to stress the visual aspect of learning, because I taught students for 27 years of different levels. And also in special ed, we really, as a special ed teacher, it's part of what we do is our toolkit to try to make the instruction something that can impact each student's life, instead of just trying to make it a one size fits all kind of a educational program. So anyhow, excuse me, if you can check out my excuse me, pardon me, website. It's the Morning Frog. It seems to always hit me about the same time every morning. But what we're talking about today, including all of the work that I've done with the Happy Little Garbage Truck as a picture book, which is a picture book led an educational program, is to try to build up self-esteem in children. And you can build up the self-esteem by having students become more capable in their reading, which is what the literacy part does. It makes a child feel better about themselves because they can read these really large words like neighborhood and garbage corner, curb, different words that are within the book, but the students are actually learning them as part of their visual and speaking and reading vocabulary, but also the social skills, which makes a child feel better about themselves. So this program is what inspired me to do these YouTubes. And this particular week, we're working on thinking for oneself. Let me mute my phone. So what we're thinking about in doing these different talks, hold on a second. Seems like when you want to hit the mute button, can't hit it. And then when you do, that's when you don't intend to, you hit it. And then when you want to mute, it seems to be impossible. I have to do several gyrations to get to that. But what we're looking at this week is thinking for oneself and developing a healthy self-concept. This thinking for oneself is hugely important because many of our students, especially I've noticed children that I've taught in the area of special ed, can be bullied by peers or led to do things to be accepted as one of the crowd, one of the in group. So this one had a specific, it struck a chord for me. And this is from Mrs. Z. Hereford's website, How to Think for Yourself. And I'll leave the link in my description box. But in talking about thinking for yourself, she listed as number one, which I, was so happy to see, developing a strong sense of self. And this is, it seems kind of ephemeral. How can anyone teach a child to develop how to develop a strong sense of self? But what I thought about in talking about this one point is its opposite, and that's the character trait of conformity. So, sometimes that becomes a strong drive within a child to be like others. And instead of in the process of trying to be like others, and how can you be like a group of people? It's literally impossible. A child sometimes forgets who they are. And that person is what we as educators are striving to recreate or to put them in touch with. And we're actually crafting and helping them become the better image of themselves. And this is their personal best. So, and coaches really work on that quite a bit. And I love stories with coaches and super educator, master teachers, because we're all working on that same level, is to make, strive to get a child to see that who they are is really important and unique. And you don't have to be like anyone else. So, this personal best, once a child is continually encouraged to be themselves and to think for themselves, it kind of diminishes that negative cycle of counterproductive growth of trying to be like the crowd. So some of the things that I thought about, it's not impossible. It's a little more. Um, you have to use a little bit more finesse to work within that, but it takes seeing the child, what their traits are, and those positive traits are what you're trying to reinforce and to build. Is it kindness? You reinforce the child. Oh, that was so nice that you shared that with your friend. Or if it's protecting or speaking out for someone else, that was so good that you said that. Yeah, that other child needed you to say that. And look how great it made them feel. So, it's just those leadership qualities, the kindness qualities, just being going outside of yourself to do things for others. Those are whatever is a positive character trait, we're on it because we want to reinforce that part of themselves, which makes them, uniquely that person. And to kind of sum it up, one parent said, I just want my son to be a good person. And I think that is a hugely wonderful place to start. Let's try to work together to build those good character traits in our children. And in doing so, we actually are helping them become more of who they really are, instead of being influenced and impacted by those around them. So thank you so much for subscribing. Please share, please comment, and we'll continue our talk tomorrow. Bye-bye.